Okay. What up? Fucking hair blowing on my head. Pity the fool. Good morning. Shit. Cut from a different cloth. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all come on in here and fuck with the dribble, man. Got a little something for y'all. How many burpees you did today? I might do some when I'm done with this. You said you sick, Gully? No, I'm trying not to. It was cold air blowing on my head last night. When you bald, that's not a good thing. So I had to get up in the middle of the night, put a towel on my head. You don't want cold air blowing on your head. Like, it gives you a different type of sore throat. The Bulls are finally here. Let's go. Do you fast, Gully? I do. I haven't lately. I actually ate some meat last night. What was the name of it? Italian beef from Patillo's. He said, what's the science? Black men, we gotta hit the gym. It's not acceptable for a man to be fat. Talk that shit. Westbrook gotta relax. Why did Westbrook get mad last night? Y'all know how he is, man. I gotta go check out Sports Center and check out the detail. Anyway, good morning, man. Y'all come on in here, man. Kick it for a minute, man. I'm not gonna be here long. Mike Bowers, I appreciate your donation. He said, you see Joaquin Page go viral? I grew up with the Pages. We from 17th Street Projects. We from 17th and German. I known him all his life. His dad used to rap. His dad named Hassan. That's Cathedral Prep High School. That's one of the sports dynasties in Erie and shit. Erie always be on Sports Center for sports. Look at what's my man named Dave Morris. He had like Dunk of the Year a couple years ago. I started going to the gym because of you, Dribble. Thank you. He said Portillo's is a Shoutout staple. That shit was special. That shit was special. My man, they gave us our food. My man passed me my sandwich. They did something wrong to his sandwich, so he had to go back in and take his shit back. By the time he was back, my shit was gone. That shit was too messy to be playing around and shit. To knock that down. Good morning. Y'all share this live. Appreciate y'all for coming through. You got some honey? You got honey? Huh? Honey? Honey? Yeah. Yeah, can I get some honey, please? He said, Chicago is beautiful. Enjoy. He was joking. We don't joke like that. That was corny. We don't joke like that. First off, Mr.T isn't a joke topic. Mr.T thorough than a motherfucker. Yeah. Always been associated with being thorough and masculine, like strength. His restaurant up there. He got a restaurant up there? He got a restaurant in the shop. I ain't even know that. But yeah. Shout out to the truck jewelry guys, man. The dudes that make truck jewelry, the shit. You know what I'm saying? Before anybody was doing it to death, man. Mr.T out of Chicago, rocking that big pimp jewelry, man, like them hustlers and shit, man. He came up around Bishop Don, Magic Wand, and all them dudes. You know, they're extravagant players and shit. But Mr.T is thorough as a motherfucker, man. I had an Instagram post a couple of years ago. We had a day on my IG when we started pointing out, naming all of the truck jewelry dudes and shit. That would be Mr.T, Slick Rick, Ghostface, Rakim. There's more. But Mr. T and Slick Rick, Mr. T was like at the top of the list. Word. So, um, just the comparison. Welcome to Dribble God Elite. That's what's up, man. I got some special shit for y'all. He said, son is a weirdo. He said he got a song called Mr. T too. He said Westside Gunn fucks with Mr. T was stating facts. How you know that it's facts? How you know how much Mr. T's jewelry cost in 1982? How much do you know? Do you know? Yeah, Biz Market was one too. How do you know how much Mr. T's jewelry was worth in the early 80s and shit? You don't know. Can't nobody assess that. You can't assess that. You can't even assess the price of jewelry 35 years ago or some shit like that. So for someone to make a comparison about his jewelry and speak downly upon him in the comparison was corny. Was never no style. DC Cab. Y'all see the movie DC Cab? Did y'all see did y'all watch the A-Team? That shit was more than an image. She said it was a corny flex. Yeah, that shit was corny as fuck because we fuck with Mr. T. We like Mr. T. Like, Mr. T has always been the shit. Like, people's hero. That's Clubber Lang from Rocky. Hey, boy, I heard you was talking shit about me. No, you didn't. Well, maybe it wasn't you. Some of those gold chains was costing $1,500 for a chain. Mr. T never got robbed. Man said Benny the Butcher's in the hospital. I seen that. Benny been going hard as a motherfucker, and he's in the hospital with his shirt off. He lay in a hospital bed with his shirt off. You can look at his body and see he not healthy. B, you need rest, homie. It ain't nothing else but good food and rest, but it's definitely rest. You can see your body. You can look at the way it look. It don't look like hard and shit. Like your body needs some nutrients. Get your gingers and shit up. Elderberries, fruits and vegetables. People on my Instagram page, they going crazy about that. So many people are reflecting on years going past and speaking positively about Mr. T. And I swear, I gotta just don't. I'm confused as a motherfucker. When you factor in the economic climate back then, the price of gold in that day, what Mr. T was doing was way different. I remember I took my mom. It took my mom a year to pay for an Italian link chain in '88. Man. Remember Mr. T checked Howard Stern on his show? Mr. T didn't just check Howard Stern on his show. I think it was David Letterman. It was a talk show host that asked him something about that jewelry, and he broke it down. He broke it down about, the ancestors wearing truck jewelry and shit like that, and it made total sense. He said, Mr. T, his daughter responded, as she should have. Westside Gunn, he followed up the post that he made is on my Instagram page, The Real Gully TV. He followed it up with somewhat like an explanation or an apology. You can't diss somebody like that. You can't speak down upon somebody and then turn around and say that they're revered or you got respect for them and shit. I think this is the very, very first thing that they got on you. West, they got some dirt on you, and you know that there's people that want to be in your position. There's people that don't like your position in music. There's people that don't like Griselda's position in music, and they didn't have nothing. Nobody had nothing to hold over y'all. You gave them the first piece of anything to hold over. Mr. T. Mr. T always represented the black man as strong and masculine. Good morning to everybody that's here. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all check out my I got some dope content with Vic Spencer. Vic Spencer got bars like a month. Y'all know I'm constantly putting the latest, most dynamic MC I can find in front of this camera and shit. Right now it's Vic Spencer. I saw that interview. Mr.T said he wore bracelets to represent the shackles that the slaves wore. Now, ain't that admirable? Listen to what Mr.T said. He wore the bracelets on his arms to represent the shackles that the slave ancestors wore. Ain't that incredible? Ain't that incredible? We need sit that right here. We need we need black men to speak like that. We need black men to pass on those types of lessons. Thank you. Peace to Vic. He and Chris Crack good.
I'm sorry.
You good, baby. Yeah. Thank you. He said the David Letterman show. I'm just, you don't want your conversation out. He said Gully TV, emblem for subscribers. My man, I appreciate you. B.A. Baracus was a shit on the 18. He had action figures, he had bed sheets, he had curtains. I think Mr. T had cereal. The cartoon was like that. Just everything. The merchandising, everything that Griselda's doing right now, Westside Gunn's doing right now with the branding. Mr. T was one of the original niggas that branded himself. And let's get one thing understood. That look that all of the rappers is rocking right now, with all of the big joints, whole bunch of big joints stacked on top of each other, like all of the rappers that got money, they doing this right now. Bandman Kilo, just look at how he rock. He got them layered up. Mr. T started that shit. Mr. T was the first nigga going ape shit with the truck. He said, I don't think Gunn was dissing T, just trying to be funny using one of his idols. We reject that. We reject that. It was just fucked up. It was tasteless. I ain't never said no slick shit about Magic Johnson. I ain't never made no HIV jokes, none of that shit. Like, that shit don't make no sense. My cousin had a blue 18 van. Good morning to everybody that's here, man. Make sure y'all check out my piece I did on Kenny Anderson. Hottest shit online. Easy. Mr. T is hip hop. Was the first non-drug dealer I seen with the truck shit. Always respect. Mr. T came in the game doing a bodyguard competition on TV with jewelry on before all of this. Did Uncasa page get hacked? I have no idea. With the effemination of black men in this day and age, that's a super bad look on Westside Gunn. Especially with Mr. T being such a masculine figure. It just don't look right, man. What you doing clowning Mr. T, man? What you doing? Why would you? And you know what's corny about it? This is what's super, super duper corny about it. We've been rocking truck jewelry for years, all of us. You ain't gonna find no truck jewelry rocker that's gonna say nothing slick about Mr. T. But I tell you who will say something slick about Mr. T. An insecure man. An insecure man will make that error of saying something slick about Mr. T. None of us ain't never did it. We've been rocking truck jewelry and shit. And don't come here and say, well, Westside Gunn jewelry cut? It ain't as prestigious and shit. I had mine when I was 15. You know what I mean? It ain't the same. It's not as prestigious and shit. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get in the game and start. We didn't get in the game. This is what it looked like. It looked like you was a nobody, relative obscurity. You one of the hottest acts, movements in the hip hop game, right? And it's like you waited until that to try to battle, to try to compare. Let's compare. Let's take you, whoever you were 5 years ago, and compare that to Mr. T. Compare that to Mr. T. Don't wait until you got corporate America on your team and all of that, and turn around and try to attack a black man. That shit corny. And it wasn't taken at it. It don't matter how he presented it. It wasn't taken as a joke. It was corny as fuck, yo. Like, you gonna hear other niggas talking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. That Kenny Anderson interview was cold. We need Nick Van Axel next. Mr. T was also a great representation of physical fitness. Whenever you see him, he was all swole up, looking good and shit like that. He said, that's real. That's the truth. That's the truth. Who does that? Mr.T is saying I pity the fool to Westside. Just fucked up. I ain't gonna make no long twisted line about it. I ain't coming here to bash him, but he need to know that that shit was going. I'm pretty sure everybody all over him now. You know how many niggas was rocking truck jewelry for the last, talking about big shit. Busta Rhymes ain't never said no shit like that. Like, we only, we don't compare ourselves to Mr. T. He was doing it first. It's just corny and shit. What's corny? Corny. Good morning to everybody. Yo, my Kenny Anderson piece. Let's just say it now. Let's say it now while everyone's here. Ain't my shit way better than the rest of these Ain't my shit way better than the rest of these niggas. The Kenny Anderson piece was the coup de grace. That was the fatal blow. Y'all don't get content like this. Y'all don't, especially from black men. Y'all don't. Ain't nobody doing it like this. Ain't nobody doing it like this, man. Everything, man. I look the part. Y'all see me on that piece playing my part. I actually look like I belong there and shit. You feel me? I show up looking game ready. He said it's Westside King of New York. He said he was. Nobody said he wasn't, so maybe he is. You seen it, it's on his channel. It's on his very channel. All the Smoke is a great athlete podcast. Them niggas are NBA players. Them niggas can look in their Rolodex and get one of their contemporaries to come to their shit. Me, I got to hustle and maneuver for all my contacts. You know what I mean? I think at Georgia Tech that was dynamic. And I brought the jump shot with me. I brought the jumper with me. So yeah, that shit can't be duplicated, man. You got to be able to cook a little bit. Subscribe to the channel. Prayers up for Bunny the Busher and battle rapper Sirius Jones. Separate incidents, both hospitalized. Benny, you need to slow down, my nigga. He stopped right in the middle of the tour. Body breaking down and shit, man. That's 1,000 blunts every city, little liquor, not eating the best food, you know, grabbing a sandwich and shit like that. Your body just ain't gonna perform for you under those conditions. Happy belated birthday. You and my mom share the same day. Thank you, Sabrina. Make sure y'all subscribe to Gully TV Sports. I think I'm gonna kick that joint off tomorrow. Yeah, it should be monetized, fully monetized by the end of the day. I'm willing to sit down with the guy from the shop to get over all this issue. The fuck are you talking about? Who I got an issue with? Who I got an issue with? I ain't got no issue. I got dick riders and admirers and shit. There's two types of people that you see around me. Niggas that want to be down and niggas that used to be down and shit.
Is it any way possible that you can build it to the room because you don't have
to? Go ahead. Put it on the wall. We'll figure it out. There are always more topics and different questions. Whispering to our mind. He said, you and Mama Duck still beefing. I ain't never had no issues with no Mama Duck. I wouldn't disrespect that lady. You ain't gonna get none of that type of energy from this platform. Word. Top 5 point guards, who's your favorites? Magic Johnson, 1 through 5. He said, Benny got to realize he's not in his 20s anymore. He in his mid-30s. Yeah, you got to make sure you getting your ginger up, ginseng. You need rest. You need rest. For real. It's like doing all-nighters and shit. He said, what about Isaiah? What about him? You asked me for my favorites. I told you Magic Johnson, 1 through 5. He said, LaMelo is looking real dangerous in Charlotte. Yes, he is. The NBA is turned up. Shout out to the Bulls. The Bulls undefeated. The Bulls is undefeated. You can feel it down here in Chicago. He said, I'm from the D, so I had to ask. Let me tell you something. He said, a lot of people have died from dehydration on the low. I could look at, I'll see Benny's body and his complexion, the way his body looked. Mr. T got a gyro shot in Chicago. What you think about the Knicks this season? I'm loving the NBA, man. I'm loving the resurgence, man, of some of these franchises and shit. Chicago, Charlotte, and New York, of course. He said, no honorable mentions for the top point guard besides the GOAT Magic Johnson. It's Magic. After Magic is Isaiah. After Isaiah, you could say Oscar Robinson. I didn't see Oscar play, so I'm going to say Kevin Johnson. Let's say Magic, Isaiah, Oscar Robinson, Kevin Johnson. And you could put somebody else in there, man. Damn, who would go in there? Who's the final guy? I have to think for a minute to get the final point guard. GP is nice. Penny didn't play long enough. He said Chris Paul is nice. A lot of young energy in the NBA. If Clay can come back and give the Warriors 14 to 18 a game off his injury, he's going to give them more than that. They're going to be a problem for real. He said Iverson. Somebody said Gus Williams. You telling me how old you are. Kareem Robinson, my man. He said, good morning, Reem. He said Jason Kidd and Gary Payton. Tim Hardaway. All of them dudes is nice. He said Jason Kidd. Rod Strickland. They saying Jason Kidd. How Dwight didn't make the top 25. I'm going to tell you how he didn't make the top 75. There's too many superstar, legendary players to be put in the 75 slots. Originally, it was the top 50 greatest players. And Dominique Wilkins got snubbed. Dominique in a couple years old. And okay. That looked disgusting on camera. I'm sorry, that ain't gonna happen again. He said the Celtics-Hornets game. Jason Kidd, Alex English, best scorer. Man, we gotta take this to my sports platform. Y'all always do this, man. That's why I got it. Gully TV Sports. We're gonna do that. The topic that I brought y'all here is not demanding of a whole live stream, so yeah, I just want to give a few words on that whole thing with we like Mr.T, man. We don't do shit like that, man. I couldn't look up to someone all my life, and then I finally get my check, and I'm ready to compare myself to him, man. Nah, that's not what's up. You put Haitian Jack on blast, talking about he eat ginger every day. He do. Bernard King got snubbed. Do you do any sports bet? Nah, I haven't had time to get into it. They was riding outside the Barclays Center for Kyrie to play. Michael Ray was on that fish scale. Y'all crazy. That Kyrie Irving situation is very, very serious. Because he don't seem to be backing down, and he got a lot of fucking supporters, people that want to see him playing point guard for Brooklyn. He said, what happened to Mr. T? Ain't nothing happened to Mr. T. He's still here. He's in great health. I imagine I haven't seen him visibly on camera, social media, nothing like that. His daughter came to his aid to protect his reputation, and he just don't expect that. Why black people always kicking on other niggas? He said he's in great shape. For some reason, I'm rocking with the background music while I'm cleaning up. I'm surprised they ain't copyright violated my shit yet. Clipper Webb says, quit dodging Hassan or Jojo. I don't even know who them people is and shit. Bill Walton is not top 75 to me with only 7,000 points. Don't you know niggas gotta actually produce something? You gotta actually produce something. You gotta actually have some credentials. I can't say these niggas' names. These niggas is nobodies doing nothing and shit. It don't work like that. Go get a job. He said talk about Westbrook. The game before he had 33 points. He almost had a triple-double. Anthony Davis had 30 as well. Shit. Whenever LeBron James ain't on the court, he's somebody who can get on there and keep applying pressure. I hope it ain't too much for him to mentally. I hope he don't let that. I hope his mental don't fuck up everything that's going on with us. Dre, good morning. Good morning, pimp. What's going on with you? I took care of business last night. Had that camera popping. He said the new rules in the NBA has turned has turned James Harden into a bum. James Harden out of shape once again. He showed up out of shape last season. It took him maybe 2 weeks. Remember, he was fat. We don't eat no bacon around here, yo. Banana oatmeal, hot tea, reefer. That's it. What happened to Zion? He got a big body. His body don't leave him no air. He got a big body. He got to be in the gym working out. He had got injured, and he couldn't work out, and he got all big and shit. He looked terrible, too. Harden could be out of shape. He got a game for it. Appreciate you, Gully, for sticking up for our icons. Man, I love Mr.T. I love Griselda, too. I do. I love Griselda, too. Shit was just corny. I'm responsible for pointing out this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because that Mr. T slight, it ain't gonna rub everybody the same way and shit. I'm in my 40s. I grew up on Mr. T. That's one of my childhood heroes. Everybody black. Don't you know everybody black was on some Mr. T shit? We didn't have very many people. Richard Roundtree, masculine. The guys, Fred Williamson, like these big husky chest niggas, these big ass mustaches. The pork chop sideburns and shit. You know what I'm saying? He said, Zion gonna take that out quick. It ain't nothing but a little water weight, you know what I mean? All you gotta do is get on a bike. He'd be good. We as black men must aggressively check those who disrespect our legends. Yeah, that shit was corny, man. Busta Rhymes wore some of the biggest pieces of jewelry. Big truck shit. Like Busta Rhymes, big truck shit. Years ago, he ain't never dissed no Mr. T. You know what I mean? We don't diss a guy. I'm on my Mr. T shit. I'm looking like Mr. T. I'm on my Mr. You dig? That's a little bit more appropriate. He said, what did he say? Mike Tyson, Mr. T, Shaq, and Mr. T, Shaq, Mike Tyson are all off limits. I like that. Let's just say that. We got an off limits list. Bill Cosby is off limits. Mike Tyson is off limits. Just go for everybody. Don't fuck with these people. Mike Tyson is off limits. Mr. T is off limits. Um, Bill Cosby, of course, is off limits. Magic Johnson is off limits. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it real. There was never no bunch of public joking about Magic Johnson being sick. Like, people might have made their little jokes and shit, but nah. Mm-mm. They said, what about Michael Jackson? Mike Jack. Mike Jack. Michael Jackson and Tupac is off limits. Michael Jackson, I got y'all. Michael Jackson and Tupac is off limits. If you know what's good for you. He said Lil Wayne. Come on, man. He said Mr. T was in a video with Busta and Dirty. They paid respects. Dr. J is off limits. Right on. Biggie and Pac. My man said, I seen grandmas fight over Michael Jackson. He said, how did he get in this? They said O.J. Simpson is off limits. Y'all went down with O.J. Y'all went down with O.J. until he beat that motherfucking case. He said, and the Mr. T Dog. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is off limits. Kareem was just trying to tell somebody to take the jizz. Kareem be flip-flopping a little bit. Yeah. I think Kareem never really gave no, I don't think he ever gave no love to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There was a tailback that played for the Miami Dolphins. He was good, too. He was nice, number 33. His name was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think I seen in an interview before that he was like, he either said he never met Kareem or Kareem didn't fuck with him carrying his name or something like that. My man said Muhammad Ali is the poster child for being off limits. Correct. He said Stevie Wonder is off limits. Did y'all see Stevie Wonder singing over that rap, that break beat, the funky drummer? He was killing that shit. Mr. T, don't talk to strangers. 12-inch rhino. Mr. T, WWF ice cream bar. He just brought so much to the table. Richard Pryor had a questionable personal life. Let's say that. But we don't even kick dirt on Richard Pryor. We don't. He said, tell Vic to take you to Leaders on Madison. We was on Madison yesterday. Did y'all see the Buster Drink Champs? One of the best ones. No disrespect to Gully giving info. Okay. Whoever promoted the shit is off limits. Good morning to everybody, man. I just gave y'all 30 minutes. I just wanted to talk about Mr. T. Everything sports related goes on the sports platform, and I'm going to go over there and give y'all some. I got to finish my oatmeal, and I got to smoke. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications. The sports channel. Make sure y'all grab my book off Amazon. It's cracked. It's called Some Things I've Been Through. It's cracked. If you don't believe me, go to the Amazon, Google Some Things I've Been Through by Gully TV, and they're going to give you the book reviews. Reviews from people all over the world. Dave Chappelle, the new poster child for off limits. Shout out to the great Vic Spencer, Chicago lyricist. We had an incredible interview last night talking about the song that he did with Ransom and Rock Marciano. Rock Marcy is not far removed from all of this creativity, this new hip hop creativity that you see. Rock Marcy is not far removed from it. It don't matter who you get it from right now. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Media's calling me, man. Chicago. Fuck with your boy and shit. Peace.